Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. My special guest tonight is Dr. John Fresh from the Millville Chiropractic Center. And John is here with us, and we're going to talk about natural health, right?
Sounds like a good idea, right?
Chiropractic's all about
Yeah.
natural health. In fact, recently, and Dr. John has been there as well, the Wildflowers Cafe,
Yep.
which is a vegan restaurant. I stopped there Saturday night. In fact, Randy was playing music when I stopped in on Saturday night. So they're open till 8 o'clock on Friday and Saturday night. But before we went on the air, John and I were talking about the great food that they make there. It's all vegan, and I had a tuna, and then my meal was a black bean burger with a mac and cheese and some spinach. It was delicious. So, and the thing is, it's healthy.
Yeah, I get the wraps.
Yeah,
all the
my
different
friend
wraps.
was with
Yeah,
me. He got the wrap too.
and they're filling too. I mean, they're about this big, and it's almost like having a salad and a meal at the same time.
That's the truth.
In some of them, they're really good.
Yeah,
and the sauces, like the little.
Yeah, that's the truth. I really enjoy his salads as well, so it's been working out well. Anyway, some of the great things. How many years has Millville Chiropractic Center been in existence?
Above 40,
Yeah.
43, 44,
really?
45, close to that. Yeah,
And every time I go by 1014 North High Street, right?
that's right.
Still remember the address. It's packed. You guys are rocking and rolling.
Yeah, well, I think what people realize when they go is, number one, they get the relief they're looking for, which is top priority. Two, they're probably in and out of that office faster than they're in and out of any other office.
That's a good point.
And the atmosphere they set with friendly people and service and making it seamless for people and remembering their names, it's benefited them not only in people's desire to be there and enjoy the care that they get, but to feel special and feel recognized and know that people know their name and care about them, and that's been built into something that's lasted 45 years.
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about that today, and folks, Dr. Beebe, Dr. Doyle, Dr. Brook, and Dr. Fresh, you're not going to find nicer people, too. I mean, they're very helpful and kind and got great personalities and would joke around, and, you have that relaxed atmosphere, I guess is what I'm saying, in your office.
Yeah, it's a nice atmosphere, especially because you're in a location where people are coming and they're getting good results, and that makes keeping the atmosphere light a lot easier when people are getting good results and people are feeling better, because you can see them go from being burdened with what they can or can't do in life because of their pain, and how when they start to find relief, how they get back to those things in their life. And you can just watch the weight come off them. You can almost tell when somebody's getting better by the look on their face when they start to come in. Just a burden's lifted.
It's got to be gratifying.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
To see that.
Yeah.
One of the things, in fact, unfortunately, I won't mention my friend, but I called a friend of mine who has cancer, and he said to me, I said, "How you doing?" He said he fell today, and another friend came over and picked him up. And one of the things we were going to talk about was maintaining mobility. I guess that's not just falling, but as you age.
Yeah.
And I guess part of that is being able to walk and get around.
Yeah, well, mobility has two benefits. One, what it does for the body, and two, what it does for the mind. How you move in all your joints, and taking even something as simple as a walk. Everybody knows if they go for a walk, they come back feeling better every single time, and it's because of how moving the body actually stimulates the mind, and it can actually break the stress pattern. So it's very hard to think your way out of stress and think your way out of worry, but if you move your way out or go take a walk or get into nature, you'll find that it's a little easier to push that stress off till it comes back again, but it's a little easier to break that stress pattern by getting your body moving, and that's because the joints are so involved with nervous system and the brain, and it's just a faster way to shut that stressful part of the brain off is by moving your body. So that's the brain benefit. The body benefit, obviously, is the better your body moves, the more it can pump the muscles, the more it can bring new blood in and push old blood out, the more the spine can move, the more the joints can bring hydration in and inflammation out, and all those things help your body last longer and feel better.
Well, that's true. I know I go to the Fitness Connection, and I really enjoy doing the treadmill. And as you say, it's a psychological thing besides just the physical factor. It helps take some of the stress off.
The hardest part is getting there.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, that's true. In fact, I just lost my swipe card, so I got to go there and get a new swipe card. But, and that helps. I mean, I've gotten to the point where, but even like you said, even if you just walk for 10, 15, 20 minutes in the neighborhood, I try to push myself. Most of the time I do 30, but sometimes I'll do 45 minutes. But, in fact, I saw one of my neighbor friends who was also struggling with cancer. She was walking today, and I was glad to see her out walking. And, another thing you brought up about hydration. Talk about how important that is, John.
Yeah. So your body uses water like a car uses oil. So hydration isn't only good to avoid dehydration, but it's also the lubricant for joints. It's the lubricant for muscles. And actually, a lot of people just from dehydration could have cramping or a whole bunch of other problems that they think could be a muscle problem, but really it's just a lack of hydration.
I actually had an experience where I fainted, and they said that somewhat with lack of water, dehydration.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's too much dehydration. It's not a lack of dehydration.
Right,
I was wrong
exactly.
there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But so that is, your blood pressure. Your blood is made of water. So if there's not enough water to keep the pressure up, then your blood pressure can go low.
I see. Okay, that's why, and that's what causes the drop. I've had that happen twice, and it's a few seconds or whatever, but it's weird. It's a weird sensation
when it tingles and
all of a sudden it's like boom, you're gone. But, of course, don't age, folks. That's the problem I'm dealing with is getting old. So the other thing that's very important is posture.
Right.
When we're sitting, and I tend to slip a little bit forward when I'm doing the shows. It's probably better to sit back and keep the body.
Yeah, whatever keeps you balanced. Yeah. So the important part about posture is poor posture can cause your spine to wear out faster, and poor posture can also make your muscles have to work harder. The more you're leaning over and the more your muscles have to pull you back up or hold you up, the harder they have to work. Whereas if you're up straight and just letting gravity sit over your spine and have your muscles be more like balancing cables, then you're not working your muscles as hard, and then the spine is more aligned and over the disc, so it's not pressing, the bones aren't pressing on each other as much, and that can really help a spine last a lot longer. And with watching TV in bed or cell phones or different things, that constant chin down, looking down thing can really start to cause the spine a lot of stress. It loses the curve in your neck, and then with that consistent pressure over time, the ligaments start to change, the discs start to stay compressed, and then they lose their ability to hydrate themselves, which can eventually lead to dehydration of the joint, which is arthritis and disc disease.
Oh, okay.
So that's another place where you see the lack of water causing a problem in the body.
It's interesting. My son and my friend Larry Malone were both musicians, and Larry's probably 25 years older than my son. But, Larry was having trouble playing the guitar because he had arthritis. And he went to Casey Young.
Yeah.
And they came up with some plan, and it's really helped him. And I told my son to give her a call if he could, to get some ideas of what it is to try to undo or, ease up with the arthritis.
Yeah, so if you want to ease up from any problem, what you do is first you want to improve the habit that's causing the problem. So you want to get rid of the bad habit that's causing your posture or any health thing to progress in the wrong direction. So you replace it with a habit that actually promotes health. So the first thing is address the habit. The second is incorporating things that actually improve health. So the chiropractic adjustment, loosening ligaments, getting rid of scar tissue. So if you decrease the bad habit and replace it with a good one and then do things that promote better health, your body will move in the direction of better health every time for whatever you're talking about, whether it's a knee, a neck, anything.
How about balancing? Lately, I guess, my friend fell today, and I've had occasion where I've fallen. What is that? Is that just age that causes it?
So just like anything else, when you think of exercise, some people think of, bench press, treadmill, running, doing different things. But, exercise can be whatever you want it to be. And So as part of my exercise program, I am on the boardwalk sometimes, and I meet people up there that have, are 70 or 80 or 90, and they're still exercising. And so I watch what they do, and even once in a while they show me some things they do. And there was a lady that taught me one time, this low, deep squat and coming back up, or swinging your arm motions, just simple stuff that you would see people doing, just move their body around. And she said, if you do this, you'll be able to do this even when you're 80. So these are little exercises that help you improve your balance, help you improve going into a deep squat in case you ever have to get up off the floor, or maybe catch yourself before you fall on the floor. So the main topic for everything I'm trying to describe here is you can make workouts based off the type of lifestyle you want to have. And not everybody's lifestyle is biking 50 miles or running a marathon. Some people it's getting off a couch. Some people it's just getting relief and starting to feel better. Some people it's balance. And you start to do exercises as early as possible that promote the things that you're going to need throughout your life, far beyond the bench press. The things like getting up and balance and all those things. You can start working on them right now. And if they're bad and you want to get better at them, you can start working on them a little each day, and your body will get better at them.
I wanted to ask you, I sit in a recliner. Is that, I don't know how that works for the back and
your body will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't like, and sometimes your body can be in positions that you may not feel, but maybe years later it could put you in a bad posture and become a problem. So I don't know if it's necessarily a perfect science that you have to be in a perfect position every day, but you should be aware of the positions you're in and realize that the best position you could be in is what your posture looks like when you're standing, because that's where your ear's over your shoulder's over your hip, and your hip's over your knee and ankle. That's alignment. Yeah. So you want to try to promote that as much as possible, but you don't want to be so hard on yourself that you don't enjoy a show or a book or whatever, whatever you like to do when you're relaxing. But if you do have those things, it's also nice to have things that counteract those things. So I have workouts that I do that are designed for posture, that are designed for my neck and designed for my low back, and I try to sit as little as possible. So before I watch TV, if I'll be on the floor beginning to watch the show on a foam roller or on a ball, or I'll be doing a couple stretches to unwind a tight spot so I don't go to bed with that tight spot, so I can wake up refreshed and start back at zero for the next day. So it's just about being proactive and aware of what your body's asking for and feeding it what it needs. And if you do that, it'll do great things for you.
How about sleeping posture, John?
Yeah, I have whole videos on sleeping posture. So for some people, if they're in pain, it's whatever posture gives you the most relief possible. And then as you move up into trying to get into better postures, once again, it's that alignment model. And, the book I have has all different alignment postures for sleeping. It has my 5-minute sleep test. So when you go to test out a mattress, it helps you try to figure out what mattress would be best for you and what pillow would be best for you. And I have full videos on, looking for the proper sleeping posture. But the main goal, again, is try to sleep how you stand. Can your knee be over your shoulder? Can be over your hip? So you're not twisting your head or turning your head or tilting your head hour after hour after hour. And one little tip for side sleepers is, if you just put your hand here and put your hand here, this is how it should look like when you sleep. If they're doing this or this, you're on your way to stretching your neck in the wrong way for the next 4, 5, 6, or 7 hours.
Wow. I'm a side sleeper, and in fact, it's been interesting. It's probably something with the inner ear, but for lately, occasionally when I flip to the left side, the room spins. So I imagine that's probably vertigo.
Well, your upper neck could be a little stuck, or something with those ear crystals shifting around or second behind. Can give you a little.
I think I better
give you a whirl.
Which is, it's important, folks. The nice thing about chiropractic is it's all natural. It's not drug-induced. And as we were talking about earlier, what you eat goes into your body is so important to fuel it and to give it the nutrients and things that we need. And certainly, as I've mentioned, I've tried to do a little cleaning up of what I put in my body, and been enjoying Wildflowers Cafe and getting some great food there. I'm never going to be a vegan because, you got to chop everything up at home. But he's right here. He's open 7 days a week. And before we went on the air, Dr. John and I were talking about the power bars, I guess it is.
Yeah, they're good.
Boy, they are delicious. What I used to do, because I don't eat breakfast and lunch, I just eat dinner. So I'd have a Zone bar, which was about 220 calories. And my daughter kept saying to me, Dad, they're processed, they're not good for you. But it was easy. And I knew the calories, like 240 or 440 for two of them. And then I'd have dinner, and that type of thing. But no more of them. I'm going to go with the power bars.
That's it.
Which is, they're
Homemade.
tasty, yeah.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. Do you know Rick Cott?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, he was a Millville police officer, and he became vegan. He dropped weight. He looks fantastic, and I'm very proud. He and his wife both did that as well.
Oh, it makes big changes.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We're talking with Dr. John Fresh, chiropractor, the Millville Chiropractic Center, 1014 North High Street, Millville. 327-0320 is the telephone number. And they're a good advertiser of ours, too, and have been for many, many years. We'll be back with Dr. Fresh in just a moment.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find Him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find Him. That's by personal experience with Him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to Him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Dr. John Fresh from the Millville Chiropractic Center. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask Dr. Fresh, you can certainly go to our Facebook page, put them in, and I will pass them along to him as I have that reading here. So you're welcome to do that if you'd like. One of the other things, we talked a little bit about arthritis, and I just talked to a friend of mine, and she's only, I guess it doesn't matter, my son's 40. When arthritis starts to hit, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So I got a little model here. I'll pull this in. So how the spine works is you have a bone, a disc, and a bone that make a nerve hole. Okay? If the spine is moving, it's like a sponge under the sink. Life pours soap in, sponge moves, suds come out, spine lasts longer, and that's very important because it's the one thing protecting how you feel, how you move, and determines everything that goes on in your life because your nervous system made you, heals you, and repairs you.
Wow.
If it gets stuck and doesn't move, now life is pouring soap in, the water isn't going in and out because that one spinal joint isn't moving, and when it sits in its own suds or inflammation, that's what causes over time the spine to age faster than it should.
I see.
That's what leads to disc disease and arthritis. And that's why chiropractic adjustments are so powerful, is because we can find which joints are stuck and get them moving again so they can clean themselves up and slow the aging process and protect the nerves better. And by doing the one thing of keeping your spine healthier, you're getting the trillions of benefits of having your nervous system work better. And that's how people heal.
Wow. I didn't know that, John. Thank you. It's very informational. That's managing arthritis pain and other things. This was an interesting scenario. This has probably been 10 years ago or so. I was at my nephew's birthday party. Actually, it's my great-nephew, I guess. His birthday party, like 3 years old or something, and his two grandmothers were there. And they were both in their early 90s. They had both come from the doctor that same day, and they were both talking about what the doctor said to them. The doctor said to them, whatever you do, don't fall down, because you're going to end up with a hip replacement,
Right.
which is very important as you age, I guess, to not fall down. So, so that comes back to how important balance is to be able to prevent the falls.
Right.
and
Yes.
fractures.
And you want to work on those things long before you need them.
Yeah.
You can't wait and have the benefits of what it takes time to do. And anything anybody tells you, whether it be any type of doctor, any personal trainer, massage, chiropractor, anything, it's time, consistency, and discipline that allows you to receive the benefits of eating a salad or anything. And there's nothing that you can just snap your fingers and get when it comes to health, because we need to give our body the ingredients, and then our body does something with what we provide it, which actually allows our health to improve, and we can't just snap our fingers. But no matter where you are, here's the good news, no matter where you are and no matter what situation you're in, there's always a better version of yourself you could be working towards. Because you can have arthritis, you can have different problems, you can be in pain, you may not be able to get off the couch. But if you start investing in yourself today, little by little, you'll have a healthier version of what you have, and then you'll be able to find some relief, and you'll be able to be more mobile, and you'll be able to do some of the things you're looking forward to doing as your health improves. But there's also a worse version, which is you can have these problems, and if you do nothing about them and you don't start the process of restoring health, the body can go onto a negative pattern, and those problems over the years can get worse.
And that's why chiropractic care is so important.
Yeah, nobody takes care of the spine like a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to keep the spine as healthy as possible. And because the power that made you, heals you, and repairs you runs over those nerves, having your spine healthy and being able to protect that power is one of the best things you could do for your health.
And again, folks, Millville Chiropractic Center is available. I've been there. Dr. John has treated me. Dr. Beebe's treated me. Dr. Doyle has treated me. I've never had Dr. Brooke. But I'm telling you, they do a wonderful job. And, it's an opportunity for you to align your spine, and all the good things John's talking about will come along with that. I'll tell you what, I've been lucky, John. I hear a lot of people my age say how they ache and it's so hard to get out of bed. I don't have that part. I really don't.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
the thing about the spine is the spine doesn't have any feeling. So the bones don't feel anything, the discs don't feel anything. It's usually the muscles, the nerves that you end up having the irritation or the stiffness with, and that comes after the spine is aged or the spine has become arthritic. It's more likely to cause those type of irritations and aches. But you don't feel it while that process is happening, and that's a 10, 15, or 20-year process. So the idea is you don't want to wait till you feel things, because by that point something's already happened.
Right.
You should be taking care of your spine so you don't feel those things. Because what we do find is people 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, the reason they're not going on vacations, the reason they're not living their life, the reason they're having trouble sleeping, or they can't say yes to barbecues or whatever, it's because of the pain they're feeling from arthritis in their neck and hips and backs, because they didn't take care of their joints over those 15, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years. We're taught to exercise for our heart and lungs. We're taught to strengthen our muscles, and you can get and lose muscles in 6 months. But if you let your spine go or continue to let it go, it's very hard to just get that kind of health back. And that's why you want to just take care of your spine, because it's the right thing to do.
It certainly is. John, what causes the neck pain necessarily?
So there's the habit, which is it because of the way you're sleeping on a pillow? Is it the way you're sitting in your chair? Is it the way you're looking at your phone? Is it your workstation?
Yeah.
Is it how far your steering wheel away is from your car? There's a whole list of aggravating factors that can cause your neck to be irritated. But equally important is the health of your neck as you're doing those habits. A healthier neck has a much longer runway before it becomes aggravated from putting your head down or from the weather changing or from all these different things. But an unhealthy neck, the wind could blow the wrong way, or you could pick up a paper clip, or you can sneeze, or you can look to your left and then look to your right and cause your neck to be aggravated if the health of your neck isn't good. So you want your neck to be as healthy as possible. If you could think of it as a container, the healthier your neck is, the bigger the container. The more habits you have to keep your neck healthy, like stretching and adjustments, the more you can constantly take out of that container and keep that container empty. The more you do things and the less you take out, that container can fill up and overflow. Oh. The bigger the container, you have more room to fill it up with the things you do, stepping off the curb wrong, sleeping wrong. The smaller the container, the smaller the window of error. But no matter what your container is, you want to get your container as big as possible, which are your healthy habits. And then you want to take out of the container as much as possible, which are the things you do to promote health in your body and for your neck.
I guess, obviously, coming to the chiropractic center, you'll be able to get the relief for your neck pain. Is there anything that somebody can do at home to relieve the neck pain?
Oh, sure. So it's the sort of the same model. You want to look at habits. How are you sleeping? How are you using your pillow? How are you doing the dishes? How are you picking up your kids? How are you putting them to bed at night? All these different things, all these even positive stresses are going to go into your body and into your neck in some way. So you want to do them in a way that promotes the least amount of stress possible in that body part. And then secondly, each morning you should be warming up your spine and warming up your muscles to get ready for your day. I tell everybody you're a pro athlete at whatever you do because you do it every day for hours a day. So you should treat your body like a pro athlete and take care of it. So you need to know what your daily activities are and have stretches that promote taking the stress off from those activities. And you should also have exercise programs that strengthen what you want to do so that your body is more capable and ready and able to do whatever you're going to ask it to do. And if you do that consistently, you'll notice that you can do a lot of those things at home.
We have to mention to you, years back, Dr. Jones, I went to him, and Dr. B was with him. But the interesting thing that he did with the neck that you don't do, and I think a lot of people were scared of what he did, and you know what I'm talking about.
An adjustment?
Adjustment. They would snap the neck. You don't do that, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I do all there's hundreds of chiropractic techniques.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do a little of both. We do instrument, we do hand adjustments, but it's not the chiropractor and it's not the adjustment. It's the body that has the ability to heal. And so the whole idea of that, when we talked about the neck and we talked about the joints and we talked about arthritis, we talked about stuck joints age faster and moving joints stay younger and protect nerves better. So whether it's by hand, whether it's an instrument, if you can introduce motion back into that joint can clean itself up again and protect those nerves better, and the body is what does all the healing. Wow. So the technique is as long as it accomplishes motion in the joint, right, the person's going to get a good benefit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And certainly I've had you do chiropractic care on me, and nobody's any better. This man, doesn't hurt, but you feel like fantastic when you get up off the bench or the bed.
It's one of the first the adjustment table. Yeah, it's one of the first things that you may need to address with people because they come in and you don't know if they saw YouTube or heard something about their friend or have any idea of what they think it is. But sometimes it's good to just calm their apprehension that it could be as gentle as you want to be and still be as effective you'd hope it'd be.
Yeah, that's the point. That's so very good. It really is very effective, and it's like not quite like a massage, but you feel really relaxed when you get up off the table, and you've been adjusted. You've got adjustment.
Yeah, tension comes off that nervous system.
And another nice thing too, John, you had mentioned earlier, we were talking about, you don't have to wait and wait and wait. I mean, you guys run, with at least a couple of you going at the same time, and I've been in and out in less than maybe 30 minutes. What is the average? Probably about 20.
That somebody's in the, yeah, I would, I mean, a new patient may be in there 30 minutes because of the x-rays and the different things that the exam, it's a little bit different than a regular visit. But other than that, 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, we understand that time is going to be one of the biggest hurdles for people in running from picking up kids at school to dropping them off. Even grandparents are doing that nowadays too, and work and all the different demands that people have on themselves time-wise, that we had to get very efficient at time so that we could make sure that the care would be available to people so that they could fit it into their life. And for 15 minutes to get what you get with a chiropractic adjustment, I don't think there's many other therapies that can compete with that.
No, that's for sure. You had one of your friends, Lisa DeSanti Cole, said, "Hi, Dr. Fresh."
Oh, nice.
So, and you got a lot of patients. This was funny. One time, one of the last times I was in there was a guy sitting out, and it was during the COVID, so I didn't know who he was. He knew who I was, I guess. But anyway, what he said to me was, I was taking my wallet out of my back pocket. He goes, "You don't put that there. You don't put that there." Well, now Ryan's got my phone in there. But what I was able to get, my son bought me an extension to the cell phone. So the credit cards, the license, the insurance card are all on the cell phone.
Yep.
So I don't need to bring the wallet, because the credit card.
So if a cell phone is
and I put that up
the
here.
thing that brings your neck down,
That's true.
The wallet is the thing that brings your hip up. So there's two things you want to avoid.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Honest to goodness, I'm on the cell phone so much. I mean, even if you have to go, and lately I've been going to the doctors for my problems, and sitting there. So while I'm sitting waiting, I'm at the phone. I put many, many hours on the phone.
Yeah.
I guess trying to sit. I guess, I don't know, maybe the nice thing with the iPad is it's bigger.
Right.
So you could, put it up like on a TV table or something.
And our body is so amazing and so resilient. I mean, how many hours of looking down and being on our phones does it take before our body even starts to cause us discomfort? So it gives us a long runway, but eventually we get to the end of the runway, and then fortunately at that point, our body does have pain as a signal to help us pick our head up or start better habits. Because if we didn't have that, human beings, if we didn't have something to slow us down from the path we're on, we would just keep going.
Yeah, good point.
So, I mean, nobody likes to have pain, but sometimes good things can come from that.
Yeah, they really can. That's a good point. We're talking with Dr. John Fresh from the Millville Chiropractic Center, and we'll be back with Dr. Fresh right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Are you just part of the crowd?
Do you feel isolated and alone?
Do you wish someone would see your gifts?
Would you like to be seen as an individual?
A person of value.
Full of life and purpose. Part of a family that cares?
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Dr. John Fresh from the Millville Chiropractic Center, 1014 North High Street in Millville. And John, a lot of people complain, and maybe it's the wallet, a lot of people complain about lower back pain. What is the culprit? What causes that?
So low back pain, the joints of the low back follow the same rules as the joints of the neck, but for low back, the different causes may be your first time, it's spring and it's your first time in the yard for a while, or you can have a bad night's sleep, or you could be at the grocery store, or some people could even leaning over to tie their shoes can cause their back to go out. So there's different things that can cause low back pain, and a lot of people just think, oh, if I just strengthen my core or do something else. But the core is really your abdominal muscles. That's not necessarily your spine. And because the spine isn't a muscle, there's really no way to strengthen it. But what you can do is you do want to start with the spine because that's the foundation of what your core goes around. So you can have a strong stomach, but if your back is locked up and not moving and it's sitting in its own arthritis and the nerves are being irritated, you may be able to, move around a little better and find some relief, but you're definitely going to want to make sure that your back isn't aging faster and that the joints are moving. And then you're going to want to add sort of flexibility to your back. So many people have unflexible backs. You can stretch your hamstrings and you could stretch your calves, but a lot of people don't really know how to stretch their backs that well. And if the back continues to tighten up, then it becomes harder and harder for those muscles to move around and do things. So then if it's a cold day, or if they sneeze, or if they lean over wrong, that's usually the last straw, and they'll get a big hit to their low back. But a lot of times, it's something that's been happening over time. Like we talked about that bucket. If the health of their back has been declining, that bucket's been getting smaller. And if they're not stretching their back and keeping their spine moving, that bucket's been filling up. And by the time they go to do something, that's when the overflow happens and they experience that back pain. So the reverse would be true, is the things you could do at home, like we talked about for the neck, would be to first, try ice, the same thing for the neck. You'd want to try ice first to get the inflammation down a little. You'd want to try little movements with light, super, super light stretching, just to see if you can get things to break free and loosen up a little bit. Some people do foam rollers or different things to try to loosen up the muscles. But if you notice, whether it's neck or low back, if you don't notice your neck or low back getting better, or you notice things getting worse or going into bigger areas, like if the neck turns into headaches or radiating into the arms, or if low back turns into hip, or turns into leg pain, or you find yourself it's less and less time that you could sit in a car, you just notice that things are going in the wrong direction. That's when you definitely should be checked by a chiropractor to make sure that your spine is protecting the nerves and that something isn't happening in that area.
And boy, what's nice, folks, the times I've had the low back pain and Dr. Fresh has done the chiropractic service for me, you feel so much better. I mean, that's what's nice. It's almost immediate. And then, of course, you need to go back so that it doesn't go backwards and you're moving forward and feeling good. And that's what's so important, especially for we folks as we age. It's a very important factor to take care of yourself, and that's a great way to go about doing it. And you go, and John, one of the things, do you have a piece of machinery that you use also now? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So when somebody comes in, there's first the exam to find out what's appropriate for them. And then we have machines like a muscle stim, light therapy, rolling table, and the adjustment. And all together, they are designed to address pretty much what we've been talking about this evening, which is making sure stuck joints are moving, making sure the muscles are relaxed and flexible, and making sure we're taking as much tension off the body as possible so that it could get into an environment to promote as much healing as possible. And when you address all those things, the spine, the muscles, the nerves, you'll notice that people's health go in the right direction. And expanding on what you said there before, I'd say maybe 30 to 40% are instant wow. Yeah. Probably more is I noticed something's different, but I'm not sure yet. By 2 weeks, I would say 80 to 90% of the people, incredible difference, back to many things in their life, relief. Things have really turned around by the second week. And then there's those people who maybe had long-standing problems or still have to do jobs or things in their life that are very physical that sort of slows their progress, and we try to work with them in those areas. But usually if we give that another week or two, usually by a month, there's a significant change. But those time periods aren't really unreasonable, considering that some people are coming in with 40 and 50 years of arthritis and never done anything for their spine before. So they're incredible results.
Jesus, yeah, they are. I mean, honestly, folks, if you haven't tried the Millville Chiropractic Center, you need to do that. It's just not, first of all, they're for the nicest doctors you'll ever meet in your life, but they really care. And as Dr. Fresh said, you get relief. Anytime I've gone in, I've gotten relief. It's like, oh my God, it feels so good. And yet sometimes it may take a little bit longer, but you're going to get it. And usually within a month, right, John?
For sure.
You see some activity. Now, usually it's what, 2 or 3 times a week?
Yeah. Yep. Well, frequency and consistency is where the magic is. Okay. You know, just like with any habit. And the closer you put adjustments together in the beginning, the more you get out of each adjustment. You know, that would be like doing a workout routine and waiting too long. And if you waited long enough, it'd be like you didn't do the workout at all. So you want to definitely get them together in the beginning to have the fastest change, the quickest change, and really the fastest way to relief, which is what everybody's looking for when they first come to the office, especially if they're suffering or if they've been suffering for a while. Relief is number one priority.
Yeah, and believe me, that's the one thing you get when you go to Millville Chiropractic Center is relief from your pain and discomfort. We'll be back to talk more with Dr. John Fresh from the Millville Chiropractic Center right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find Him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find Him. That's by personal experience with Him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to Him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Dr. John Fresh is my guest from the Millville Chiropractic Center, 1014 North High Street in Millville. 327-0320 is the telephone number, and it is a place for relief, whatever type of relief you need from the body and neck and back and all that, they can provide that. Now, John, I know when I go in, the adjustment table, I guess, is what I go on, right?
Yeah.
But before that, let's go through what piece of equipment they will be on.
Sure. So one piece of equipment would be the muscle stim, and the muscle stimulation is designed to break up spasming muscles, so it sort of contracts and relaxes the muscle over and over again to break up spasm, once again bringing in healthy blood and getting out the inflammation out of the muscles, which helps relax the muscles. The other is a light therapy, which is designed to sort of promote the healing benefits of the body. And once again, the body provides all the healing. We just do things to assist it and make sure it doesn't have anything in the way of its progress. And there's the rolling table. Have you done that one, the rolling table?
I'm not sure.
So that's where you lay down, and there's sort of rollers that roll up and down your back, which sort of massage the muscles out. And the joints that are moving, it helps mobilize them a little bit. And then when you come into the room for the chiropractic adjustment, that's where we find which joints are stuck and which joints aren't moving like the others. And we restore motion to them so they can, restore health to them, and so that they don't age faster than the other joints, and so that they can continue to protect the nervous system better, which allows people to feel better and be more active.
Now, what would you say the average age of your client is?
Interesting. I would say 45 to 85.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yes.
That shows it's important for, I think about when I started going to Dr. Beebe over on 2nd Street with Dr. Jones, I was probably in my late 30s or whatever.
Yeah. If you think, through the years, probably at 20s, you start to notice when you hit the ground playing sports or being out or being active. 30, you've gone through maybe an episode or two at that point, and you've maybe had one bad episode, or maybe you haven't had a bad episode yet, but you notice that before you never knew you had a body. You didn't know you had a neck or a back. And then maybe you start to realize after a morning or after a bike ride that you have a back. And then, 50s or 60s, if you didn't have a couple episodes by then, you may have your first episode then. And then as you get older, people can actually, when they come in, you realize that they've been living with things for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but they had to go to work, they had to pay the bills, they had to come home, and they didn't realize what options they had available to them. They didn't realize that they, one, could have not been suffering doing all those things. Two, they could have been doing something to help their body handle what they had to go through each and every day. And three, they could have prevented arthritis and disc disease and accelerated aging that maybe could have been avoided by keeping the spine mobile and not have it locked up for 10 or 20 or 30 years before they really go to address it, because now they have a little more they have to deal with and a little more they have to overcome than if they could have prevented it in the first place.
It's interesting. I did not realize how effective chiropractic was for arthritis, and that seems to be many people I know.
It is all focused on keeping the spine healthy, and there's a lot of professions that focus on spine mobility and movement, but chiropractics have dedicated their last 120 years they've been around. It's been all about how to make a spine healthier, how to make a clear path for the nerve, so that the power that made the body can heal the body, and through that, they've received all the benefits of the amazing thing the body can do without the nerves being interfered with and a clear path for the nerves.
Now, with the different, like with the arthritis, I guess it's sort of a combination of what you're doing and then what Casey Young could tell people.
Oh, there's tons of things you can do. Yeah, I mean, the more flexible your muscles are, the more range of motion your joints have, the healthier your joints will stay. The less inflammation you have, the better foods you eat, the less your body has to sit in inflammation, the better the joints move. So it's never going to be a one-trick pony that solves all your problems. But here's the good thing. The more things you do to promote health, you not only get the benefits of those things, but you get the multiplied benefits of how well all those things work together.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, as we talked about, the physical part, the consumption of food, how important that is, and how processed foods aren't.
What you think, how often you worry.
Yeah,
everything.
That's stress. Everything. Yeah, that's a good point. But there's this is great to know because there are a lot of people I know have arthritis, and this is an opportunity for you to get some relief, to come to the Millville Chiropractic Center. Dr. Fresh or Dr. Doyle, Dr. Beebe, Dr. Brooke will be there to take care of you. And believe me, the nicest staff. They're not only the nicest chiropractors, but the staff is super too. So,
true story.
Boy, and I say that, and I know a lot of people probably won't believe me, but I've been in the hospital a lot lately, a lot. And I have to tell you, I told Amy Mansu, who's the chief CEO of Inspira, I said, I don't know who hires your people, but boy, they do a great job. They really, really do. I don't care if it's the orderly, the nurse's aide, the nurses, the doctors, whoever I dealt with, the guys that push you, the runners that take you to get the x-rays and stuff, they are all really, really nice people. And that says something. And, of course, I know Dr. Beebe wants to exemplify what he is, and he's gotten you and Dr. Doyle and Dr. Brooke and your staff all have that good upbeat personality, care about people. And
well, it's just as important as all the procedures and tools you have in your office is the care part of healthcare. That's where the healing starts before anything's even done.
Yeah.
Is that somebody knows that they're in a place that they're cared about and somebody's going to listen to them and they're going to be able to get the care they need. And the nice thing about our office is because it's more like a gym style of things where you go to take care of your spine, you really get to enjoy people's lives too, and and learn about them and learn about them as people. And a lot of other offices don't have that benefit where they see people once a year or once every 6 months. We really get to know people, and that's a good thing.
Did you remember Dale Whetstone?
Oh yeah.
I was just with his daughter the other day. There's a man who's one of the most wonderful people you'd ever meet in your life. If he ever wanted to run for mayor of Millville, he could have run and won. He had Steelman's Photo Shop, and when I would go, I would see Dale.
Yeah.
And he had his routine. He always looked great. He was nice and up straight.
Yeah.
Not, walking with a huncher or something like that. But just thinking about super people, and I knew I would run into him there quite often. Must be tough. Of course, Dale passed away several years ago, and what a tremendous response of people at Christie Funeral Home. I got there early. Man, there was lines and lines of people, which is a tribute to him and to his family for what he's done, or he did, for the city of Millville. Besides having the Steelman's photo, he was also a firefighter, volunteer firefighter, a wonderful, wonderful man. And speaking of wonderful men, we've lost many recently. Tim Shannon, who was the former mayor of Millville, Bob Hutchings, who was a great athlete. There's many people. And I do want to say, John, this is interesting. Don Fauerbach is a friend of mine. I had his mother on my show about 7 months ago. She turned 102.
Oh,
she was
that's
on the
great.
show, sharp as a tack. And unfortunately, she just passed away last week. But she seemed to be really getting around.
Did she give you her
102.
top 3 secrets? Did you ask her?
I should have asked.
Oh, that's always. I always ask anybody.
This is funny. Speaking of top secrets, when I was the mayor of Millville, I gave out 15 proclamations to people who turned 100. So we'll say the 15, 5 were married, and 10 were never married. And so, anyway, it ended up the secret to the success was those that weren't married didn't have children. And I had Mrs. Morey on 3 or 4 years ago, and she passed away. She was 101. And I said to her, Mrs. Morey, what do you attribute your longevity to? She is not having kids, because she was married. She's not having kids. Now, I just don't want to put children down, but it's a little less stress, I guess, is what she was saying. But this is an interesting one. George Cush's uncle was 100. He turned 100. So he was at the Veterans Home in Vinyl, and I went up and took him his favorite lunch. Take a guess what his favorite lunch was. Think of Trump.
What is it?
McDonald's hamburger.
I was going to say McDonald's. Yeah.
And I thought, okay, so I took it up, and then every birthday thereafter, I would up and give him a card and take him to. He lived to be 106. Take him to.
The couple of things that I think come to mind when I ask that question is, sometimes I get the answer I get is, it's more of an observation. Laughter.
Yeah, that's true.
And they seem to have like a toughness, like.
Yeah,
they're just like they got a toughness to them. But they do have a sense of humor, and
that's a good point.
And I think some of the people I've seen, they've been social, like they'd like to talk to you, and
she was Mrs. Fauerbach was super. To talk to, and Mrs. Morey, and
so they keep themselves,
that's
active and stimulated, and sometimes you'll even hear that they have, not necessarily. Goals, but more like they're always moving towards the next thing, and
But something to look forward
to.
I mean, Mrs. Fauerbach had her son and daughter-in-law right next door. She had a golf cart, and it was really right on the river, beautiful location, and all that stuff. And she was a real sweetheart. So, again, 102 was pretty good. I guess the average age now was 78.
I think the number's been going down.
Yeah, probably. People aren't doing vegan food. They're not going to a chiropractor.
But there's a lot of factors. I mean, when I think, I haven't looked at the numbers in a while, but when things happen to younger people, that really gets the number, because you don't have the extra 50 years to put into the calculator for the average. So, so there's.
Well, you know what? I was always lucky, and I'm sure you were too. I was never a smoker, and very rarely do I ever drink. Occasionally I'm going to have a glass of wine if, I'm out with a friend or something, but I don't care if I ever drink booze. I always said I want to eat my calories, not drink my calories. And God, I mean, my age group, people smoked. I couldn't stand the smoke in my eyes. Like, get this out of here.
Yeah.
So I was lucky there, in that aspect. Cause,
how times change, right?
Haven't they yet?
Yeah.
Who even talks about smoking anymore? And it's not just a bad habit that, but it was addictive. I mean, people, they get addicted to it. And it was the cool thing to do back in the 60s when I was in high school.
Well, self-discipline is a very hard thing to overcome, not allowing yourself to do what you want to do now for benefits later.
Yeah,
that's a hurdle we all trip over.
That's for sure. But, it's interesting. If you need relief from neck pain, back pain, even arthritis, call Dr. Fresh, 856-327-0403. 0320. I'm off of it. Yep. 0320. They've only been an advertiser for 40 years. 0320, and make an appointment. And I'm telling you, once you go, oh my God, why haven't I been here in the past? In fact, I'm going to be going back soon. And it's something that you want to do, and you want to make sure you take care of yourself. And no better way than doing it with the all-natural way. No drugs.
For sure, yeah. The way your body was designed to work.
Yeah.
It's through the nervous system, and protecting that nervous system allows it to be at its best.
And you mentioned, too, John, earlier, relieving stress, even if it's just taking a walk or, and coming out of the chiropractic center, you'll have some stress relief there, too, because, all the things
I mean, people, I don't know if, everybody realizes, but those same nerves in your back that are causing you pain are also attached to your brain, right? So it's very stressful. Yeah. Pain is stressful, and being stressed causes pain. So they're connected.
Whammy, yeah. Each way. John, thank you, buddy, for coming in. It's always nice to have you, and tell Dr. Beebe and Dr. Doyle and Dr. Brooke that I said hello, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. And Ryan Dorowski, thank you so much for producing the show
thank you,
today.
Ryan.
And don't forget, we hope you'll join us on Around South Jersey, usually weeknights, Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock. For Dr. John Fresh, I'm Jim Quinn. Have a nice night. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.